Yo, yo. Uh, Jerry the Camp. When buildings cried. That's if you're in the mud flood, you got to sub to Jerry the Camp. Sub Photonic. Good old buddy Jerry. Um, if you're in the mud floods, check out Martin Leakey, Philip Trzinin, Richard Lopez, Victor Budge, Andreas Nicholas, Radio Tartaria, John Levy, Fendap, that's Alan Hughes, great Christian guy. Oh Jesus, all kinds of guys out there about mudflood, but sorry man, a little bit of a spasm in my shoulder. What's been going on? Well, first wave was a hoax, a normal flu. They know that a small part of the population will see through it and minimize the pandemic threat vocally. Some people will also loudly protest the lockdown and social distancing. Part 2, the next wave will be real, with lots of deaths through recently installed 5G, which starts with beamforming technology on people's heads, chests, preventing oxygen uptake. Remember, 5G is 60 gigahertz, which is the frequency of the oxygen molecule, right? The hemoglobin uptake, and this is which will produce distress, identified as CV symptoms, and people of all ages will begin dying, even young, since 5G has been installed in all the schools. This will totally discredit truthers who questioned the seriousness of the pandemic, discredit the lockdown protesters as irresponsible, destroying any possibilities of any future protests, and destroy the premise that only the old are the vulnerable, and this is where they're going to try and say that it'll affect the young and the old, and it's craziness, you know. I mean, hang on one sec. Been just going through my craziness with this all week, dealing with this kind of stuff. You know, I think the real problem is going to be coming up in the fall. I think this, what we got going on here today, is just, it's a trial run. They're going to test to see who's awake and who's not. But I mean, then there's part 4 of this whole scenario here, and it's a cause of massive and harsh lockdown, right? And worse than you could ever imagine before. You'd be lucky if you can get outside to walk your dog, accompanied by internal border checks, and there won't be any resistance at all at this point, because these guys have got everybody brainwashed into believing that this is real, and which is not. And this is where I call for an arrest of all the politicians, anybody involved with this whole pandemic. Yo, Jerry, dabs to the dome, buddy. And this is just the beginning. Doesn't matter who you're talking to, they don't want to hear it. You know, I was talking with my brother the other day. His partner, she just, her and her sisters had recently just put her mother into a nursing home because she's got dementia and this and that and the other thing. And as soon as they took the mother into the nursing home, they said, you won't be able to visit your mother until this pandemic's over, per se. So I said to my brother, well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to go in there, they're going to diagnose this poor old woman with COVID positive, and treat her for a while. Their treatments will make the woman get sicker and sicker, to the point where they're going to put her on a respirator, and bam. Oh my got another nursing home COVID death. On top of all these monkeys wearing masks, and I mean, they're everywhere. 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 I can't believe it. I hear it. I take the subway out every day. Every time I step on a public transit vehicle, it's just saturated with propaganda. Can't sit here, can't sit here, can't sit here, 6 feet apart. Everybody's like avoiding you. They don't want to get too, if I get too close to you, you're going to kill me. And oh my God. Then I got the face mask on. And I freak. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. YouTube took me down. I had my, I almost had 1,500 subs. I think I'm back up to 20, I don't care. I don't share the truth for money. I don't share the truth for any pats on the back. I don't, I don't get any, this whole truth bullshit cost me money. I've been going to the protest every week down at Queen's Park since it started. I meet a bunch of awakened people. A lot of flat earth people that I meet up down there. There's Andy, Good of All 72 and his wife Diana. There's Johnny F.E. Rocker. He's there every week too. There's Mike Buss. That's my buddy. We're all buddies, but I mean, me and Mike live in the same kind of neighborhood, so we're kind of closer than the other guys. The other guys come from out of town, and there's a bunch of other people that show up, and they're all awake. But I mean, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. This is biblical, right? This gets back to, okay, who's doing this? Who's financing this entire operation here? Because I mean, I got people. I heard now that this entire lockdown, people will not have to go back to work. Well, not have to go back to work. They're letting people stay off work until now, September 21st, maybe. Which is kind of oddly enough, that's the equinox, the fall equinox, I do believe. And then people are sitting at home collecting $2,000 a month, and I know people that they're saying, well, I wasn't even really working, and now I'm making more money now than I was making when I was working. And there's no incentive for these people to go back to work. And then they put on the hand condoms and those fucking face masks. And I haven't been doing any uploading or anything lately, because I'm running out of computer hard drive space, so I just got myself a scan disk, and I'm gonna give myself some space on my computer. But I'm having issues with my computers. First of all, I don't own a cell phone, I don't own a microwave, and I haven't owned a television in over 10 years now. I haven't really watched it. I think I might have owned one about 8 years ago, but anyway, I study my books, man. I got Gary Wayne, Genesis 6. I've got that's a mountainous of information in that book. I got 6 or 8, maybe 8 or more Zen Garcia books, Michael Heisner, Johnny Cerrucci. I got Sinister Forces. I got The Dark Lord, Unholy Alliances. I even got Marty Leeds, Gematria. I got whatever you want. I got a Secret Teachings of All Ages, all Freemasonry book here. I got 5 copies of the Book of Enoch. I've got 4 or 5 copies of the Holy Bible. I got the Apocrypha, Jubilees, Book of Jasher, Strong's Concordance, S. Sefer. S. Sefer was a $250 Bible, by the way. I got probably 10 or 15 Jordan Maxwell videos, about 20 Michael Tazarian, Mark Passio, videos, just videos and books and books and books, and I definitely do not consent. I'm an geoengineering guy. Anyway, what's going on? You ever heard of the Bolshevik Revolution? Yeah, this is history repeating itself. They killed, what, anywhere between, I've heard some say there was 60 million to 80 million to 120 million people, mostly Christians, that were killed by the Bolsheviks. Um, the history books are a complete lie, though, so I don't know exactly what to believe about all this kind of stuff. I mean, this is where I've read there was 80 million Armenian Christians that were killed, and they were nailing women to the barn doors, and there was actually mothers that were murdering their daughters because of these Bolsheviks were coming through towns, and just 100 men would have their way with a woman, and the mothers could not fathom seeing their daughters going through this. Anyway, but I mean, this is the crazy world that we live in, and I get it all from here. Let me get you going here for a sec. Hang on. First of all, back to the mask aspect. Or no, here, I won't change the mask aspect yet. Right. Okay, well, yeah, we'll do the Tony thing. Hang on a sec, guys. Anyway, yeah, the Bolshevik thing. This gets back into the same people that were behind this are the same people that are behind the COVID. They did this back in 1917, where I believe that the vaccinations that they made mandatory back then had the big play in this. And this is where all these idiots that are telling me that I'm an idiot because I don't believe any of this stuff, right? Sorry, guys. Oh, my bad. Anyway, where I was getting at is this whole thing has been done before, and this is where the vaccination is going to come out in the fall. I was listening to the radio today in my brother's car. They said that they have been doing trial tests on animals for the COVID vaccine in Saskatchewan, and by the fall of this year they should have the vaccine out. I heard it takes at least 5 years to come up with a vaccine, and at least 20 years to come up with a probably viable vaccine. Not 6 months. So something's going on here, guys. You got to understand that Canada is not what you think it is. It's not the home of the brave and the free. You know, this is one stone's throw away from a communist state as it is right now. And anyway, so this whole vaccine stuff, they're going to come out and they're going to say, look, if you want your kids to go back to school, they got to get jacked with the vax. You want to go back to work, you got to get jacked with the vax. Come on, guys, this has got to be the new normal, which was used in a Bolshevik communist takeover term. I think it was used in either Czechoslovakia or Ukraine or something back in the day when Gorbachev or whoever the hell it was, Baryshnikov or whatever, said, oh, this is the new normal. This is not the new normal. Anyway, the masks are deadly on you. Okay, and this is Tony Pantalleresco speaking, a good man, totally anti-nano as I myself, I'm anti-nano. A lot of people don't even understand what nano is, but here, just listen to Tony for a minute, and you tell me.
So now they got you wearing this idiotic mask. The stores in Michigan, for instance, where you can't go in the store in Michigan, you wear this effing mask. Are you seriously kidding me? Every one of those stores can be sued. Costco, any of them. Walmart, any of them that's forcing you, Target, can be sued. Every one of them. When you see the information on what I'm talking about here, and the damages on the on this, you are going to flip out. They now got you wearing masks. They have high concentration of cyanide, formaldehyde, propylene glycol, propylene ethylene. All these emit a gas that your body, when it reacts with your breathing, releases. Can you dig this? This is suicide. Put on your mask so we can protect each other. Meanwhile, it'll take your ass out. It's another screw job by the corporations. It's a screw job by the governments. It's another screw job by the pharmaceutical agents. And you know who's going to make the money here? You know who's going to make the big buck here? The mortician. That's who's going to make the big buck here. I mean, they have gone to great lengths of spraying alcohol and everything. When you walk in the store, they wipe everything down. They got you putting on this sanitizer. It's got all kinds of chemical shit in it. That when you add the alcohol, it provides a solvent effect, causing your body to be broken down further. They've been wiping everything down with chlorine bleach, releasing chlorine gas into the air. And now we're going to put on a mask that doesn't stop anything. Can't stop any viruses. That's on the box. It will not stop the coronavirus. It won't stop any virus. It won't even stop contaminants. Oh, jeez. Put your mask on quick. It's going to protect. Oh, get it on. And then the masks themselves are made out of some of the most lethal components you can imagine. I'm going to read some of this because I think you need to know what's going on. When they said recently 2 Chinese youths died suddenly while wearing surgical masks, though previously perfectly healthy and not infection victims. It's now believed that the mask wearing caused the deaths. Okay, hold on a second. Expand this just a little bit. The death of the teens have prompted experts to point out the dangers of wearing high-grade masks. During intense exercise with movement, promoting the non-necessity of wearing protective masks. All you goofballs that are driving around with masks on in the car, you're releasing cyanide into your brain. Do you know that? Cyanide. What killed the man? Oh, he died of COVID. Both of them were wearing N95 masks, the ones mandated for healthcare workers. I keep telling you guys read the content of the box. I keep telling you guys read the contents of the vaccines. I don't want to know. You say, oh, I'd rather stick my head up my arse and just breathe my own crap rather than knowing the truth. That's what a lot of people think. And I'm saying it straight out, straight to the core. I'm not fooling around here because, like I said, I am tired of being drugged with the majority into a black hole or the abyss because they are too stupid to see the reality of what's going on. So for those of you who are awake, these messages aren't for you. These messages are for you to arm you to defend yourself so that when someone says, well, why aren't you wearing your mask? Then you can say, are you bloody stupid? Are you bloody stupid? Do you know how to read? Do you even know how to interpret anything? Or are you just so caught up on the media and the government bullshit and everything else that you just follow the leader without even questioning where they're taking you? Okay, but this is the information I'm giving so that you, instead of feeling victimized by these jackasses, you will now have the upper hand. Okay, these masks contain highly toxic chemicals, including formaldehyde and various petrochemicals. One of the petrochemicals is a substance called dibromodicyanobutane. Dibromodicyanobutane. These basically have a combination of bromine, toxic as hell, It wipes out the thyroid. Cyanide, which we know in small, tiny amounts can kill cancer, and huge amounts can kill you. And butane, oh, what does that do to your liver? All which are poisonous, because when you breathe these components in, you now will carry these chemicals through the respiratory system, through the lymphatic system, and this will get spread throughout the whole body. This is like me putting the knee on you with more pressure till I hear the cracking of the windpipe, till I hear the cracking of the neck. In the National Library of Medicine, the substance is listed as acutely toxic, an irritant, a corrosive agent, an environmental toxin. It is also listed as harmful and fatal if swallowed. And guess what you're doing every time you take a breath? As this goes through the respiratory system, as this goes through the bronchi, as this goes through the lymphatic, you're basically, in essence, swallowing this crap into the body, and now it is poisoning you.
And now it is poisoning you. Why do you think they want everybody wearing masks? I think it's just because they want to go freedom of speech. No, it's actually causing you physical harm. And you know how many people are out there nowadays? They're pushing it on the subways, man. Every time I heard it. Today I must have heard about 5 times today. Make sure you got a mask. If you are not capable of social distancing because of circumstances, always make sure you have your mask. That way you won't make your neighbor sick. I'm gonna lose my shit dealing with these evil fuckers. Pardon me for swearing, but I mean, enough is enough. I've been dealing with the truth and trying to get to the bottom of all this crap for a very, very long time. And here. I don't know if you can see that yet. Hang on, guys. You want to know what's going on? This has been in play for quite some time. And little Donald Trump's always knowing about it. Him and his friends of Russia. His dubious friends. The dubious friends of Donald Trump. Here, check this out.
Well, times before about ideological subversion. That is a phrase that
Ideological subversion.
When the Soviets used the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears, open up their eyes, and they can see. There is no mystery. There is nothing to do with espionage. I know that espionage intelligence gathering looks more romantic. It sells more deodorants through the advertising, probably. That's why your Hollywood producers are so crazy about James Bond type of thrillers. But in reality, the main emphasis of the KGB is not in the area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money, and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students. Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. Here you can get popular like Daniel Ellsberg and filthy rich like Jane Fonda for being dissident, for criticizing your Pentagon. In future, these people will be simply squashed like cockroaches. Nobody is going to pay them nothing for their beautiful, noble ideas of equality. Demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes, then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization.
You hear that? That's what's going on. Okay? You don't want to hear it? You don't like it? Too bad. So sad, huh? Sorry, guys. Yeah. That's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. Look at this whole fucking world so fucking hell bent, right?